So let's get into some more. Okay, so Black Adam, she just give. Okay, so if you had to give it like if you're doing like 5 stars, how many stars? Black
1.5.
Adam. No, bro, don't be that mean. don't,
Sorry, Rock.
don't do that to my dog. Don't do that,
Bro, I'm
What's up, everybody? This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, founder, and president of the Honest Con Foundation. You didn't think we'd be back, did you? Of course we're going to be back, because the man himself, Mr. Rise Up, is here. My main man, my day one, representing Down for Honest Con, 501c3 nonprofit Honest Con, which you should be supporting. And if you ain't got the ducats, all you got to do is push a button. Please like, subscribe, and share, and let somebody know you're watching this amazing channel called Honest Con. It's got all this incredible content, from fishing to movie reviews to music reviews to world content, travel to sports commentary. We're doing all of this stuff, all right? So my main man is Mr. Rise Up. He's got all the facts when it comes to sports. I always go to him. He's the one. You see, he's only rocking with winners. We're rocking that championship 2021 for GA. Go Dogs. All right? We're going to... yeah. We're gonna get into all of that and more. But the first thing I want to ask my man, because this is Honest Con, and we always respect our roots. We started as a Comic Con in 2009, so forever and a day we support comic book culture and everything related. I gotta ask him, because I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen the new Black Adam starring the legendary, most electrifying entertainer in sports entertainment, The Rock, DJ Dwayne Johnson? Have you seen it?
I did, man, and I'm gonna tell you, The Rock got him a nice check for that one.
Oh,
you know, it's it's one of those deals where, the thing with DC, they're different than the MCU, right?
Sure.
So the MCU is very tightly integrated. Their features, their Disney Plus series, their shorts, their everything, ties together story wise, and they have an overall outline for where phase 4, phase 5, and etc. is going.
Yeah.
DC intentionally didn't do that. They're like, yo, can you make a good movie? Okay, make it. Right, we'll put it out. And so that's why you have, like, in the DC extended universe, you have different actors playing Batman, different actors playing Joker, different actors playing Harley Quinn.
Right.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's like, if we can produce a good product, we will drop it, and we hope you go see it. So Black Adam was not one of the better DC comic adaptations. However, like you said, it's The Rock, man. It's a good popcorn movie. And I'm gonna tell you, my partner that I went and saw it, what I told him, I was like, bruh, ain't nothing been out good in the movies. He showed me the Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, I don't care, we're going to see it. I'm telling you, Joe, it feels like so when everything closed down for COVID back in March of 2020, I pretty much remember the day, because we went home from work that Friday, which happened to be Friday the 13th. I want to say it was the day before, or maybe 2 days before. I was actually at the movies. I went to see The Way Back with Ben Affleck. He was playing a kind of alcoholic basketball coach. Really good movie. But anyway, I remember that very vividly, because that same night, the NBA announced that they were shutting down, right? Because they had a COVID exposure before the Thunder game in Oklahoma City, and they brought out the fumigators, wiping down the seats, this and that. Within 24 hours, they were like, yo, we going 0 dark 30, ain't gonna be no more basketball. That actually kind of kickstarted COVID lockdown. That preceded a lot of the, once they took the NBA's lead, they were like, oh, I guess we ain't going nowhere. And so, bringing it back to cinema, things were pretty much closed from then until late August 2020. So for about 5 months, you couldn't even go to the theaters, period. And once it started to open back up, they put the dregs out there. I'm talking about stuff that would normally be straight to video in your DVD bargain bin at Walmart. They were putting it in the theaters, and it was garbage, right? For a long time. It took a minute to get anything good in
Right.
the which is timely because we kept saying that last night in reaction to the Black Adam movie. But hey,
Wow.
you know, some people will like it. Rock fans will definitely be appreciative. He's on his game. It's just it's one of those things where, bro, you know, you're an artist. It all goes back to story, right? So you have good story, good writing, good acting, good directing, good production design. All that you could have a good product, right? This was very hit and miss for me, man. It was you'll see it. You know what I mean? If it was the kind of thing where if it was completely free and I saw it on TV, I was like, well, I guess I can't get those 2 hours back. It was that kind of Jones. So.
But you never got up. You sat through it at the gut. Okay.
Oh, I got up. No, I got up. Yeah, I got up because I was listen, bruh. We look. People are back in the office, right? A brother is getting up early, right? So I'm tired. I'm nodding. Oh, so I had to go, man. Run, get me a little pick me up. But yeah, so I got up and I listen. I didn't even care what I missed. It was that kind of movie.
Dang, bro. He's like, I don't care how long it takes you to make the mochaccino coffee and everything.
You know, some movies. The trailer looks good. Like let's take Wakanda Forever as an example, right? I've seen a few different iterations of the trailer, TV trailer, world premiere, this, blah blah blah. It all looks good, right? And I really expect the movie to be good. So that's one category of movie where you're still blown away. Others, they put everything good in the movie. You've been to, you know, like a comedy where all the jokes were in the trailer. You're like, wow, that's all there is. That was Black Adam.
Oh wow. That's
Yep.
Yo, well, there it is. Mr. Rise Up is telling y'all his perspective on.
Hey man, you know, save your ducats. I got AMC Stubs Premiere, so I can see 3 regardless. It wasn't no big loss to me. But you know, if you working hard to bring it home, save it.
Wow. Well, I'm definitely still gonna see it, but I just don't know when. I actually wasn't on work for schedule or ducats right now, so I was and
wait on that HBO Max joint if you can.
You think it'll be on there like November, like
it'll definitely be because it's it's Warner, so yeah, it will be there. I don't know when, but trust me, you can wait. You can wait.
Plans, though. You notice that, like, if something don't make it in the first 2 weeks or so, it'll be on TV in 3.
Because their model is they're gonna make the money regardless. You know, once upon a time, stuff used to play for 6 months, and it would take longer than that for it to hit.
Exactly.
VHS. You know, you remember you had to go to the newspaper and get the movie times, and the thing they used to do if it was a movie like Back to the Future, 48 hours, it'd be like 48 smash week, 57, smash week. Where, like you said, it don't make it 4 weeks, and you can, and sometimes it's simultaneous.
Yeah.
Day and date, theater and streaming. Bro, people want to consume, and you know this, people want to consume their content where they are on the go. And they don't want to be fooling with a whole lot of people. That whole cinematic experience, like a movie like Top Gun Maverick, absolutely go to the theater to see that joint because it is absolutely worth it. You know, optimum sound, seating, its screen, etc. Others, I catch it on my phone.
Yeah. That's what's up. I missed that one. I didn't see Top Gun when it was in theater. Still need to see it. I haven't seen
Brother, you're missing out. That
yeah, I've heard
hot fire. And I mean, listen, diverse and inclusive. We all were on the screen, doing it.
Shout out to Bashir Salahuddin from Sherman Showcase. Sherman himself is up
that guy.
Yeah.
Hondo did the damn thing.
For sure. That's what's up, man. So let's get into some more. Okay, so Black Adam, so if you had to give it, like, if you're doing like 5 stars, how many stars? Black Adam?
1.5.
Oh, bro, don't be that mean, bro. Don't do it.
Sorry, Rock.
Don't do that to my dog. Don't do that,
bro. I'm keeping it fully transparent. It's too late today for the bull jive, man.
Mr. Rock is having no mercy today. You're gonna learn today. So check it. I'm gonna say this. I saw some other reviews. Somebody else I respect speaking on it, and I don't know if you ever see Fantastic Four. She's a commentator on a lot of comics and movies and everything. Pretty popular. She check her out on Instagram. Shout out to her. I don't really know. She doesn't know. I don't know. I think she's aware of Onyx Con, but we haven't crossed paths or connected yet. But you keep up with people who are doing stuff in the genres. And she went to the premiere, like the big fancy joint in New York, because she's in New York. And in her perspective, I think she has like up to like 5 stars. She gave it 3. So I wasn't mad at that because I understood what she was saying as a comic book head and somebody who may have been more like I haven't even read the comics, but I'm just such a Rock fan that what she was saying about the action, everybody says for everything it lacks, the action makes up. So I'm hoping that's gonna be the verdict in our season. That's all.
Listen, Joe, I make it go 2. 3. She saw Dwayne Johnson in the lobby and got hot and bothered, and that affected the
So, right.
But keeping it objective, I could go 2, no more than that. No. I mean, because here's the deal. The thing of it is, like, going back to the MCU, the Marvel movies are formulaic, right? Like you can kind of like, they start with like a early intense scene, maybe you'll have a little lull, you'll have like a little mid-movie something, and it all builds to this big crescendo. Mm-hmm. Now, Black Adam did have that, but even like the early action sequence, it was cool, and it did some stuff that's specific to DC, like in terms of the way he moves, sort of like how Superman with the, hypersonic, but bruh,
okay.
Nah.
So I'm not gonna ask what it was. Of course, we don't do the spoilers, but everybody keeps saying that the end credit scene is sometimes even better than the whole movie.
I didn't even stay.
Dang, bro, you really?
I was out. I wasn't getting caught up in the stampede. Nah.
I want to be that big of a legend on some kind of level as an actor and producer and writer, so that no matter how bad somebody thinks of something I've been in, they just be like, I went to see it for Joseph. That's all I care. That'd be really good.
Let me just insert this in real quick, okay? Many of us, and I learned it back in high school, and you probably heard it back then too.
Right.
The success pie, PIE, right? Like the components that determine basically your success and recognition, right? P, performance, I, image, E, exposure, right? Performance only makes up 10% of that. Okay, your image, 30%, exposure, 60% of success, right? How many social media followers does The Rock have if you total up everything? IG, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, you name it, right? I'm saying he, from football to wrestling to commercials to acting, he is one of the most recognizable humans on the planet. So the whether or not his product is good is going to be entirely incidental, because he's got so many. If you go to IMDb, and like, I like to look at people's upcoming projects to see what they're working on, right? Some people, like 1, 2, and a lot of that is sort of that's fluid, because sometimes it's like filmed but in post-production and so on and so forth. Man, The Rock, I have 12, 15 at any given time, right? Stuff he's in, stuff he's producing, features in various stages. I'm talking about, brother, man, how he and Kevin Hart keep up with their schedules, I will never know. I mean, I will never. Those dudes are machines, man.
You ain't got no team. You can't do it. You gotta have them people around you to make it work for you. So they know what you're thinking, so they helping you think it before you think it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, when you, and this is applicable to anything, when you think big like that, right? I really do think that's what you attract, because I'm saying, like, The Rock has overall deals with multiple production houses, right? He's bringing the XFL back, right? The alternative to the NFL and football, right? Game shows that he's hosting. He's got Young Rock on NBC. I mean, it's nuts. It is absolutely nuts.
So check it. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
They call it unforgettable. What about that bird? He's cool. He's black.
Yo, keep blowing. Yo, keep blowing.
Who says you have to clap with the white parts of your hand?
Keep blowing.
Really bang it.
This is painful, dog.
I agree, it's very painful.
Who are all you creepy people with them crazy blue eyes?
We are called Caucasians.
Come on, 5, 6, 7, and get it, and get it, and get it.
So check it. Speaking on some college football real quick, and then we're going to get into NFL.
Yeah.
And take your picks for tomorrow on week 7. So Georgia, USC, Oregon, Clemson, and LSU is all I keep hearing about. Why? Who is what, and what are they to you?
Well, let's take them one by one. You want to do the matchup still?
We'll start out with Georgia. Well, I don't know who's playing who in terms of college and all that. I was just getting some highlights on a couple of games, and I just want to know why they're, who's at the top right now for what reason, in your opinion.
Well, Georgia's at the top because they got the best defense, right? They've been playing flip flop with Alabama all season. Even if Alabama recently lost to Tennessee, so they fell down in the standings. But before that, one would win, but if it wasn't by a convincing margin, the other one would overtake the one that won by less for first in the country. But Bama lost, and Tennessee put up like 52 points on them or something like that. Georgia, meanwhile, and I think we talked about this last episode, their defense gets offended when you score on them. They take it personal. So listen, that's some dogs I want behind me, man, because you, like they say, defense wins championships. You can't always score, right? Like, you're not going to always be in a flow or rhythm and mind you, this is any sport: baseball, basketball, football, right? You name it. But you can control your effort and your focus and consistency on defense in terms of stopping the other team, right? So Georgia's got that in space, and like I said, they sent 5 first rounders to the NFL draft and haven't lost a beat. So that's why you're hearing a lot about Georgia. A lot of those other teams, SC, LSU, Oregon, and I don't know what they did today. Georgia was on bye, of course, but
I was watching, and I wish I could put the source. I really just picked something to give me a couple of updates before we did this thing. And LSU impressed me mainly because I didn't know they had a young black quarterback. I was like, I'm really getting around here. And stuff. I saw him on the sidelines doing the interview. I'll just get back. So where we come from, man, our father's another coach. If they say it was a black quarterback on TV, he was like, I guess that's who we with.
It was because back in the day, Joe, it was such a rarity. Outside of Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham, Doug Williams, like it was few and far between. Because see, that was by and large purposeful, because the thought was that, there's no way I'm going to put my best athlete at quarterback because people will consider it a waste. It's like, why would I have that caliber of athlete behind center when I can put them at wide receiver, send them out wide, put them at cornerback, stop the other team's best receiver? Because today it's all about throwing the ball, right? Or even at running back. In other words, in today's game, they have been so innovative on offense. You're not taking an F1 caliber super stud athlete and just having them stand back there like a statue. You're using all of their gifts, right? So they can throw it, they can run it, they could even line up in a formation where you don't know if it's a run or pass. That's the RPO, run pass option, right? So you key on the threat of the run. And so let's take it back to last episode in Lamar.
Yeah.
Defenses have to respect his ability to run, whether it's a design run or a broken play where he'll scramble out. And so that causes defenders to come up because, they don't want to get beat underneath. So then that opens up the pass for him downfield. So an athlete like LSU's quarterback or University of Kansas quarterback or Tennessee's quarterback, right? These guys are big, they're fast, they're strong, they can throw, they can run, and they can think. That's the biggest thing. We talked about the quarterback position last week, right? You have to process so much information, the play that's coming in, getting your guys lined up. First of all, receiving and interpreting the play call, then communicating it to, huddling up, getting your guys together, and then communicating it out, right? Going to the line, seeing what the defense is doing, right? Do I stay in that play or do I check it down to something else, right? You're doing all of this, and I'm saying,
constant calculations.
Basically in 25 to 45 seconds. So it's like no time. And I'm saying it's rapid fire. You're trying to advance the ball. So the further you go, the more intricate the play calling gets. And I'm saying the field shortens, right? So you got less real estate to work with, right? So it really becomes a chess game at that point. So like I said,
that's about referencing chess players. And I wonder how many players in the history of football are master chess players. I know they're out there. I wonder how many if you knew. It'd be amazing to know.
It's a great point. And I think a lot of your better thinkers have been chess players over time. I mean, you remember back in the day, we got exposed to it in the lunchroom in high school. And I'll still dabble in it a bit, right? But it's one of those things that really, quick sidebar, quick left turn, as we age, it's not just our bodies that we have to worry about keeping in tune. It's also our brain. We have to exercise our brain. What I have come to understand is that it's a call and response, a back and forth that keeps your brain sharp, right? That's why tennis is such a great activity, because you have to hit the ball and then wait to receive it, right, and come back. It's the same with like word games and things. That's the thing with chess. You move, your opponent moves, right? So it's interpreting that. It's like, I know what I want to do, but I also have to factor in what my opponent might do. And it's 3, 7, however many moves down the line, right? A chess grandmaster is going to see the board, size up their opponent, and count down the moves to mate. That's the level they're operating on. And that's, there's your football analogy, right? Is it that, or are you on the defensive and at the whim of your opponent? That's no place to be in any circumstance in life.
Yeah, come on, for real though. But the last one I want to mention, at least I said, I will shout out to Clemson has a young black quarterback.
Yep. And, so real quick on that.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson's quarterback, Uiagalelei, Bama's quarterback, Bryce Young, who won the Heisman last year, Ohio State's quarterback, CJ Stroud, and University of Kansas quarterback, which they were undefeated until recently. This young man got hurt and I believe is out for the season. I think his name is Jalen Daniels. I'm pretty sure. All 4 of those from Los Angeles, right? City boys. Okay, so I'm saying all of those project to be NFL players and starters and maybe even Pro Bowl caliber, all from Los Angeles, basically city and county football. Amazing in the same time frame, if not the same class.
That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. So I saw the Oregon, the Ducks raised and came again, and also the USC. Which now the Ducks amazes me. I mean, none of these other teams surprised me because they've always had dynasties. But in the history of my, like I always say, casual fandom, I never saw the Ducks coming to be what they became in the last.
So with Oregon Ducks, follow the money. Okay, Phil Knight, the Nike founder, is a University of Oregon graduate. Matter of fact, he founded Nike in 1971-72. There's a little discrepancy as to when it was in Beaverton, Oregon. He was a track runner and was inspired by his coach. I believe his name is Coach Bowerman. And so Phil Knight has brought his considerable resources and billions to bear in Oregon athletics across the board. Their uniforms, their facilities, you can pay better coaches. Now that you got NIL money in the mix, you can, pump up that kitty to get a better caliber of athlete. And in football specifically, I was talking about offensive innovation. Chip Kelly really put Oregon on the map. They won somewhat with Rich, I forget his name, the prior coach, basically. Like they kind of won a big bowl game in there and kind of made a national name. But Chip Kelly developed a consistent winner at Oregon. They played for the national championship and in big bowl games, so much so that the Eagles snapped Chip Kelly up to become coach. He went from Philly to San Francisco, and now he's back in college coaching UCLA. So, but again, it's all about resources. Like, juxtapose that with a Jackson State and what Deion is trying to do, right? And I gotta commend Prime for that, okay? Because they don't have the resources and they don't have the tradition. They don't have the facilities, all of that. Prime is like, to hell with any of that. I'm going to bring myself, my name, my own brand, my weight, right? And I'm saying that's spreading out. Eddie George, goes back to who's a, college, I guess, Heisman winner, and was a star NFL running back, goes back to coach Tennessee State, so on and so forth. Willie Simmons from Clemson goes to coach FAMU, etc. So there's I think a budding renaissance, and it's just like LeBron with his partnership through Nike and with FAMU. People are seeing the value of the kind of integrity and character and the type of education and grooming you can get at an HBCU, and realize, hey, there is still a need and a place for this. In other words, it can coexist right alongside these Power 5 schools, right? Everybody is not going to go pro, even from a Power 5 school, right? So let's develop young people, men and women, to be, respected and respectable and go out into society. So again, props to Prime, because he could have gone many places.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back.
With your host, Joseph R. Wheeler III. OnyxCon was born in 2009 in Atlanta, Georgia. In 2020, we created the OnyxCon Fishing Tournament to get people outdoors and to enjoy hiking and the wonderful art of angling. Outdoor recreation and its magical inspirations for art is our focus through OnyxCon Outdoors Worldwide. This subsidiary of OnyxCon will expose the masses to the love, joy, and pure energy that comes from being one with the rest of nature. It is always present for inspiring many of the world's greatest artists. So join us as we travel locally and abroad to bring you the true core of creative magnificence via our universal connection to that which we are all a part of, nature.
Yeah, man. All right, so we are back. And now we're going to ask Mr. Rise Up about his picks for week 7. It's amazing how these weeks
already. And listen, a brother is 4-2 in both fantasy leagues. You can't tell me nothing.
We got to do an episode about that. I have no idea about any of that. So you got to talk about that.
It's an obsession. You don't want to know. You are much better off.
Trust me,
you're not addicted to that drug.
I don't think I could ever be that dude. It's just, from what I understand, it's not even like looking at a video game. It's just stats and stuff, right? Correct. But now, let me give you some food for thought. Okay. Imagine, take all the best artists or your favorite artists, whether it's contemporary, modern, whatever, and there was a way to rate their work. And there was a draft, and everybody got X number. Or are we talking specifically like music or something? What particular visual medium, right? Paint, etc. Let's just say paint, right? And you got so many draft picks, and in other words, based on how you finish, that determines, hey, do I pick early? Do I pick late? Is it random, etc.? You would have a vested interest in that, right? Because you're interested in their output. Like for people who are nuts about football, this is just another way to dive deeper. If football ain't your thing, I mean, listen, the real thing don't interest you, let alone fantasy. So that's understandable, right? This all started with rotisserie baseball, right? They called it rotisserie league because they ate rotisserie chicken while they poured over baseball statistics and came up, and then it expanded, like say football, but they got it for everything, hockey, bass fishing, it's out there, man. Yeah, I mean, listen, Pete, the levels of obsession people have for just about any topic or subject on earth knows no bounds, and with the power of the internet and broadband, it made information like that. I ain't gotta go to no newspaper. I can get it on my phone in real time. And I'm saying, listen, if I'm using software or
the app, it pulls in the stats. I ain't even got to go tabulate. When I first started playing fantasy football 25 years ago, you had to have a special piece of software. The commissioner would run the matchups and send a voicemail out with the scores, right? That's how antiquated it was. Now, instantaneously, like everything in life, right?
Right, yeah. Man, that's crazy. You been playing that long, man? Over 20?
Bruh, don't judge. Don't judge.
I was amazed at it. I didn't even realize it'd been around.
Yeah. Oh no, it's been around longer than that. Yeah, I've been playing that long. Yep.
I definitely knew it was over 15. I didn't realize.
And listen, somewhere along the way, I figured out what I was doing, man. I think I've won the championship in various leagues like 7 times, easily. And I'm saying like I mentioned to you, our thing, we don't play for money, man. It's straight for pride. And I'm saying it is tooth and nail. You have never seen a group of folks more competitive than that. Not for a nickel. It's just for pride.
So people just be texting in their little comments, talking stuff and whatnot.
The trash talk is epic. The trash talk is epic, man. Because listen, if I win, I got to make you feel like crud. I have to. It's compulsory. I got to make you feel like crap.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, crazy! Wow, bro, I had no idea this thing is like that. So let's get into them.
People be bored, man. They got nothing to do.
I understand. Hey, we all need something. I got many things to keep me busy. So. Let's talk about them. So already we had the Cardinals over the Saints 42-34. They did that. You know what I'm saying? Any thoughts on that? No surprise.
Well, it was good to see Kyler show up. Cardinals got DeAndre Hopkins back, who's one of the best receivers in the league. He had a performance-enhancing drug suspension that took him out for the first 6 weeks. So you can see night and day with their production when he's out versus when he's in. And listen, Saints represent as well. Jameis Winston, their starting quarterback, is out, but the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, he did it, man. I mean, it was a competitive game. I didn't see all of it, but hey, good for them. But they're 2 middling teams. You ain't gonna be hearing about them at the end of the season. It is what it is.
I can play Deion Sanders on this one. I don't know if he still does it, but he probably ain't got time to do it, but he used to do his picks every week. Don't nobody care.
Yeah, right. Listen, they're applicable. We could just get that sound bite for that. Yeah, just play it.
I'd be crying every
Exactly.
I just watched that. I don't even be knowing why, but I'd be rolling.
Another quick sidebar about Prime, since we talked about him earlier. He is an authentic dude, man. I don't know if you've seen the clip, and if you haven't, I'll send it to you. There was some banter between he and a local Mississippi reporter that kind of covers the Jackson State beat. On social media, they put out a very short snippet of what looked like Deion correcting him about on camera, the interview approached him very proper. He was like, nah, man, come at me like you. And he was like, oh, man, I can't say, what up, dog? What going on? And then they went through it 2 or 3 times. And Deion was like, okay, now you good. And see what happened. It disparaged the reporter and made him look bad. So Deion being Deion, on his IG page, he put out the entire clip. And he was like, hey, Prime got the receipts. He's like, this man is a good friend of mine. This is how we joke all the time. And it showed the extended clip. It showed them laughing and hugging and talking and giving dap. So, just a real human being, is magnificent an athlete. He is Hall of Famer, etc. He's a really, really, really good and real dude. And you just love to see that. Yeah.
Because I see a few things come out. If people get a little bit, they'll turn it into all kind of memes and everything. So I think I know the one you're talking about. It's good to know it wasn't serious.
And see, he helped the reporter save face, right? You don't want to be the butt of a joke. And again, you can edit something to anything to make it look like whatever you want to, right? Without context. So a lesser person wouldn't even have bothered. Nick Saban wouldn't have given a damn how a reporter showed up. He's just on to the next thing. But Joe, what we need more of in life is compassion, right? We need more compassion and understanding in all of our affairs. We just do.
That's right. Absolutely. So Ravens versus Browns, who you think?
That ought to be a good one. So,
Browns are supposed to be up. They doing their thing, right?
Well, and again, like we talked about, Deshaun Watson is suspended for the first 11 games. So they're rolling with their backup quarterback and doing Jacoby Brissett ain't doing well. Browns run the ball. So if the Ravens can get in front of it and stop that run, they may have a chance. But Lamar's got to be sharper. He has not been on his best game since we last spoke, throwing a lot of picks, overthrowing receivers, not finding the open man. So if they're operating at peak capacity and, like I said, can shut down the Browns run, I'll take Baltimore.
Okay. That's who I want. But man, that's crazy. I did see that they lost that last one, so I know how it is.
Yeah.
Bucks versus Panthers. What you think?
Oh, the Panthers are like the Washington Generals of the NFL now. Fired their coach, traded their star running back Christian McCaffrey, and are basically having a fire sale. They are rebuilding whole cloth, so they're gutted. Even old man Brady and a lesser Bucks team all day. Panthers are not even an NFL caliber franchise right now or team.
So when I wear my favorite, I wish I had it right next to me so I could put it on. But if I have my Carolinas hat on, which one?
Garbage.
Okay, but the hat ain't garbage. I'm like,
Oh, listen, you can't go wrong with some teal now. You can't go wrong.
It's I love it, and also it's like, for me, man, it's a Panther. You know what I'm saying? I'm representing Wakanda when I like that play, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm representing the original history of
Now, I love it. I mean, again, you can't be against Cam. He's that dude, and a Georgia and a Georgia boy. But it's real. You talk about personal. It's personal for me because I'm all day, right? I'm Falcons all day. And listen, I could rock like a neutral team that's not a Falcon rival, and I got no vested interest in. If I like their gear, Panthers too close to home and a rival. So, but I feel you, bro. I respect it.
I never realized, when did they become a rival? I always thought
from their origination, when the Panthers came into the league, they put them in the NFC South because the teams, with very few exceptions, are grouped geographically, right? When the Falcons first came in the NFL for the first probably for the first 30 to 35 years of their existence, they were in the NFC West along with the Saints because they were expansion franchises, and that's where they had room. When they realigned, because see, you got 32 teams, that's the perfect number. There's 8 4-team divisions, right? So with very few exceptions, they're grouped geographically. So example, NFC South is Atlanta, Carolina, Tampa, and New Orleans. So Panthers are a natural geographic rival. They're right up I-85.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I mean, I never even realized. All I ever think is, of course, Saints this, Saints that. That's all we all know.
Oh, and listen, they can suck it too.
Hey, they're gonna mess with you about your hat today because it's got the colors in it, even though they ain't got no red on that one. They'll be like, oh, that is a Georgia hat. I almost thought it was.
The gold is for the trophy, which the Saints ain't seen in a long time. So I don't want to hear nothing from them. Sure. They'll be all right.
Shout out to my friends from New Orleans. Y'all know who
Nah.
I got love
garbage. Nah, no shouts out. Nah, this is blood feud.
Lee Jones, what's good, fam? Okay. Falcons versus Bengals. I mean, we know what we're gonna say, but tell me.
Dirty Birds. So the Falcons are coming on. They're establishing an identity.
That shouldn't be no drama.
They're a lunch pail group. They're gonna bring it. They ain't got
fourth quarter and embarrasses type BS. Right?
No. They're again. This is a new unit, bro. Since we traded Deion Jones to Cleveland, incidentally, Falcons only have 2 remaining players from the Super Bowl team: Grady Jarrett and Jake Matthews. Matt Ryan's gone. He's not coming back. So this is an entirely new group that doesn't have that bad scar tissue. True, they don't know winning because they haven't had a winning season since 2017. But what Arthur Smith is building is something special. They're resilient. These guys play together. They are going to run that ball because, listen, when you're running, generally you're winning, and that's a good formula. So you want to run it and stop the run. I was just having a sidebar conversation recently. There were 2 games in a row the Falcons won. Cleveland, I want to say Seattle. They basically sealed both games at the end with a game-clinching interception. Old Falcons don't do that. They drop that or somehow find a way to stumble. These boys sealed the deal, so I expect them to do that up in Cincy.
I love it. I love it. Lions versus Cowboys. Don't nobody care. No.
Garbage. Yeah. Listen, Cowboys by default. Listen, the Lions are entertaining. They were on Hard Knocks, and I was entertained as all hell. That was enjoyable. They got a good group. Their coach is a ham. That dude is wild. Okay, it has not translated to wins on the field, and the Cowboys have been rolling even without Dak Prescott. They got a really strong defense. And Falcons' old coach Dan Quinn is the Cowboys defensive coordinator. I don't know where the hell this coaching was when he was with us, but I wish we had a time machine because them boys playing defense, man. So, and Dak is probably coming back on Sunday. Dude, Cowboys by default. Whatever the money line is, you can take the Cowboys. It don't matter what the spread is. They're gonna decimate Detroit.
How about that? Giants versus Jags.
Giants. So the Giants had been trashed for the last several seasons. Again, new coach, new GM, new regime, a new spirit about things. See, it's amazing. You can take the same talent, and this is not just football or sports. This is a lot of disciplines. You can take the same talent, put them in a different environment or different, with different motivation, and get entirely different results. Giants have been winning and have fun doing it. They play as a unit. Generally, the best unit is going to win. And their coach, Brian Daboll, he identifies as when they won the first game of the season, they beat the Titans. They went for 2, which is unusual, and they won. And he was hamming it up, hooting, hollering in the locker room with them. So, listen, the Jaguars are an improved group. They got Doug Peterson, who won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, Trevor Lawrence, Peach County kid, stud, the next coming of Peyton Manning, and he is going to be really, really good. They are not there yet. I'll take the Giants.
I mean, you think it's like a blowout type situation? Or like
Nah, it'll be competitive, but Giants.
Because personally, I'm with the Jags only on some personal stuff. Like I said, the casual fan perspective.
That logo. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
We got to do an episode all about logos and mascots.
Do it. But you speaking my language there, bro.
Hey, fam, we can talk about it. We're gonna do that.
I got some juicy tidbits for you. Let's tee that up next.
We're gonna do that. Packers versus Washington.
Green Bay. Green Bay is not as good as they have been. Matt LaFleur, who's their coach, he actually used to be the Falcons quarterback coach under Kyle Shanahan, and when they went to the Super Bowl. He's won 13 games his first 3 years in the league, which is unprecedented, going great guns. They are not that team. They've lost too much talent. They lost Devontae Adams, who's one of, if not the best receivers in the league, and they're trying to find themselves, right? Washington, even more garbage, right? Garbage product on the field, garbage owner, and a garbage organization. And they just lost their quarterback. So, is that the theme? Right, it's not even trash day. So, yeah, Packers. Sorry, it's too late in the day, Joe. I mean, listen,
Colts versus Titans. Don't nobody care. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Colts. Look, Matty Ice is up there. As long as he's putting on a jersey, I'll ride with him, Colts. But a Dion on that.
Okay, all right. Texans versus Raiders.
Raiders. So this is garbage on garbage. Texans, one of the worst teams in the league. Deshaun left them a crater smoking mess. I mean, they again, whack ownership, a front office that don't have a clue, and you lose. First of all, they lost DeAndre Hopkins, who I mentioned earlier with the Cardinals. Then Deshaun sort of massaged his way out of town, pun intended. And you hate it because Lovie Smith, listen, is one of, I think, 4 black head coaches right now, or just head coaches of color, period, which is pitiful. I mean, they ought to be absolutely ashamed. We'll tee that up for a future episode just on the plight of the black coach in the NFL. But unfortunately, they are one of the worst teams in the NFL. So I'll take. Who did you say they're playing?
It was Raiders versus Texans.
Oh yeah, Raiders. Raiders, man. Raiders. They're trying to find themselves, but they win by default.
And for the audience, we are partially biased just because our alma mater in HCL high school just happened to be. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just,
I was about to say I'm completely biased. I will.
It's just by nature of the word. It just,
I need that, by the way. That shirt hitting, bro. I don't have any Mays Nelia on deck, and I feel ashamed. I feel less than.
This is one of them oversized ones that when the shirt got to the point where I didn't even wear it no more, I just took the front of it just to keep it like a flag. And
Love it.
Got it sewn up for that.
That's a sleep shirt. That's a joint your girl has when she's over there.
You know. Yes. Don't get me off topic. We'll be talking about the ladies.
Go there.
We need to have you on an episode of Honest Con's relationship goals in the art life.
Bring it.
You will shut the web down.
Bring it. Bring it. Web need to be shut down.
I had to do that when you're talking about disclaimers. By the way, again, the disclaimer: none of the views and opinions expressed by me nor my guests necessarily reflect those of Honest Con, its affiliates, supporters, or backers of this 501c3 nonprofit organization. Thank you.
It's all us. It's all us.
I'm just the host and he's just a guest. We're having fun. All right. Jets versus Broncos. So if this is your team, calling trash. Don't take it. It's his opinion.
Jets by a country mile. The Jets are playing ball. They're a good football team. They're well coached, physical. Broncos, straight up trash. Even with
my man, Russell.
Even with Danger Russ. But guess what? Russell is out, sir. He is out tomorrow. So the Jets in a walk. Aches and pains, old people injuries. I don't know. Counting his money. He sprained his thorn, his wrist, counting his $245 million. I don't know.
Hey, sit at home with Sierra and enjoy it. I understand.
Oh, listen, there are worse things in the world, brother. You talking about living your best life?
Live your best life, brother. All right, Chiefs and 49ers.
Woo, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. So I'm torn on this one. We talked about fantasy, and Josh Allen's my quarterback, and he's on bye. So I got to roll with Jimmy G tomorrow. So I need the Niners to put up some points, right? But I'm rolling with my homies and the Chiefs. Even without Tyreek, them boys can score in bunches, and they just have that it factor, that thing, that intangible that leads to winning because they've been there. So I think it'll be a good competitive game, but I take the Chiefs in a close one.
Okay, he's saying Chiefs, y'all. So E40, don't be mad. You know, if it goes the other way, you can pop your collar, Pimpin. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ had dreads.
Shake them. Oh, for those who know the tracks. Yo.
I mean, tomorrow's Sunday and all right. I'm just keeping it on brand.
Versus Chargers.
That's gonna be an excellent game. That might be the closest one out of the ones you've mentioned, because on the one hand, even without Russ, Geno Smith is balling, right? See, no disrespect, but when you take that kind of prima donna element out and just get down to basics, back to ball, again, that cohesiveness, that togetherness of that unit. And listen, Pete Carroll is old as Methuselah, but it brings an enthusiasm, unknown to most men of any age. So he's got them playing well. I'm a big fan of Justin Herbert, who is the Chargers quarterback, and they got a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. They are freaking loaded, and I don't understand why they haven't won more. So that's going to be a pickle. That one is a straight up pickle.
Y'all heard it here. So you're not picking either one. You're just kind of saying
that's going to be a coin flip right there. But I hope for a good game, because again, I need them points, dog, in fantasy.
So it works like that. It all goes together. I see you in the matrix. Right.
Listen, that's the one thing about fantasy. Let's see, some leagues have a head coach as a position, and that's just win or lose. Did the team win or lose? Everything else, you don't care whether that team won or lost. You kind, it's sort of like every team is an all-star team. theoretically, right? You pick and choose quarterback from here, running back from here, wide receiver from here. You're just wanting them to ball out. Whether the team wins or not is incidental.
So based on the real stats, you build your team.
That's it. That is it. That is it.
I see now why folks can get addicted to.
And I'm saying, Joe, there's a draft. Like the real, I mean, you got to draft your players. Sometimes there's even like keeper leagues where like you keep some number of players from season to season, which again, very much like the real game. So.
Well, when the movie, I'm sure you heard about the movie with Omari Hardwick that actually.
Oh, can't wait! Can't wait! He's on the Falcons. I can't wait! I can't wait!
All those got the actual team certified to be in the movie and all that.
And listen, that's smart for them because rather than some made, you talking about we don't care, some made up crap like the Replacements or movie like that where it's not like a branded team. NFL is smart. They'll license their. I mean, again, it's all marketing.
I've not seen that in a while, so to see that happen for a movie and it be a mostly black cast family movie, I was like, this is awesome.
And listen, you got to give it up to Marsai Martin. She is a young mogul. Yeah. I mean, brilliant and decisive. And listen, I got to give it up to her parents because for her to be doing what she's doing in front of and behind the camera at her age and a young black woman.
Come on. Yes, for real though. All day. Honest Con salute for real. Bears versus Patriots.
Oh God, garbage on garbage. And no, the Patriots aren't that bad. They're down their starter, but their rookie Bailey Zappi has been balling out. This one personally hurts me because Justin Fields, again, another Georgia boy from up here in Peachtree Ridge, 5-star recruit, went to Georgia, transferred to Ohio State. Did fantastic, threw 6 touchdowns or whatever it was in the college football playoffs, and the Bears traded up to get him. It hasn't worked out. They have not put him in a position to succeed, and he hasn't, neither personally nor the team. So it's rocky for him. His future is somewhat in question. Their team, far from a winning team right now. Patriots by default. That's not. I mean, the Bears are just not competitive at the moment.
That was excellent, bro. We're gonna wrap it up with these last 2 comments. We want to talk real briefly. We're gonna make it quicker than the fight itself was. 2 minutes, 57 seconds. The comeback king is back. Wilder over Helenius.
You listen. You love to see it, right? Deontay is that dude, the Bronze Bomber. You know, historically, what you're gonna have to consider is that he came along during a time where you have a physical freak in Tyson Fury. The man is gigantic. He's like 6'7" and 200. I don't know how many pounds. And I'm saying you talking about has a chin. In that first fight, man, Deontay knocked him down and thought he was out. And Fury got up like the Undertaker. Everybody was like, oh shit. You now juxtapose, because listen, Fury, and then second fight was quick. Third fight, he finished off Wilder. Wilder, he got tuckered out. He was gassed. Yeah. Now compare that to this fight where Deontay put his best, right hand on that dude. He went night, pillow and everything.
What happened?
Hey, listen, the direct deposit gonna hit your account. Don't even worry about a homeboy. So I'm saying, I love to see Deontay back because he's still relevant. With that win and the buzz that it generated, he can get back in the conversation. Nobody needs to see another Wilder Fury fight, but Wilder Joshua or Wilder any of these other heavyweight. It's a shame because we were spoiled with Tyson in the 80s because the heavyweight division was the marquee. That's the one everybody wants to see. Since then, it's like been the least. No one cares about it. Everybody cares about the lighter guys: Pacquiao, Mayweather, Sugar Shane. The welterweights, lightweights, middle. That's what people care about. Those are your marquee fights. So for a true heavyweight to bring that spectacle back to the sport, that's what people want to see. And he's a brother. Come on.
Yeah, all day. And I've always said, ever since I heard about it, because I met a couple of people who serious actual boxers, trainers, former boxers, etc. Once a boxer, always a boxer. And they would, I never got had a talk with a guy one time. He was a trainer at the time. He said, man, he's trash. He doesn't do the technique. He's not, everything he does is like his own made up stuff, this, that, and the other. I said, yeah, but it's working. I'm like, the whole sport is all about somebody coming along and doing something different. That's what I say every time that happens and people complain. Just like that's why I support number 8 with my folks, because bottom line is, whether you like Jackson or not in football, he has changed the football that we know. And as far as this league is concerned, he is the reason things have shifted.
And you know what real quick, because we talked about Lamar a lot last time, he is a genuinely good person. He is not full of himself. You see him at the gas station pumping gas. He may be in a Bentley, but he's pumping his own gas. People come up to take. I'm saying he's a young man that knows who he is, the place and time, and he is absolutely content with himself. And again, for this, you love to see it, because they would love nothing more than to be able to put something on your rep and on your resume, or maybe you do it yourself, and that's all they harp on until the end of time, right?
And with Wilder, in boxing it's a different thing. There's so much pre-hype and so much aggression and seeming like you really hate somebody when that ain't necessarily the case. In some cases, it may be a real beef, but the bottom line is, everything I've ever seen of him in interviews, even when he gets off on his whole thing about this is the only sport where you can kill a man for a paycheck and all of that. He's just reminding you of the truth of it. And it's a great way to hype the whole thing and bring back. Some people didn't know that. It's saying it the way he says it. It makes people realize that is true.
Listen, they call it prize fighting for a reason. The prize is first. That's the emphasis right on that part. It's blood sport, but listen, it still goes back to honor and respect. You could have beef with somebody, and that makes the fight juicy. But listen, I'm saying boxing, MMA, karate, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, you name it. You don't want UFC. You do not want to fight someone you do not respect. Why? The level of preparation that is required. I'm saying for the lifetime, but especially in camp to get ready for a competition, a match, a bout, a fight, a whatever. Why would you do that to waste it on an opponent you don't respect? You wouldn't, right? So that's what I think people have to realize, right? I can dislike you, but I must still respect you. You're a pro just like I am. That's why you see, no matter how tense it is beforehand, they'll hug it out in the end, because whomever won, they know what went into it. They already know. They didn't have to be there with you to know what you did to get ready.
If I remember right, at the end of that last one, that he didn't do that. It's like, Wilder didn't never really give him this spot and say, okay, good fight, whatever.
He was, you see, listen, that's what your average person is not going to understand either. The level of competitiveness of these cats. They go into a zone that's almost like a trance. So I'm saying you need a cool down period to come down from that. That's why it's ill-advised, like right after the game, they shove a microphone into the person's face. That's not natural. That's, when I'm leaving work at 5 p.m., there's no reporter out there with a microphone. If there was, they were going to get an earful from me, straight up. And I'm saying it's the same thing in sports. So yeah, Deontay took it personal. I'm saying you get someone's best when they do take it personal. Nobody complains when Tom Brady loses and walks off the field without shaking hands. It's competition.
Right. He's a bottom damn line. Get a man his props for what he's accomplished. And I do think there will be another. I really do think there'll be another Fury.
Listen, if nothing else, it's going to charge up my man Wilder's cash flow. It's going to juice up Deontay's pockets like a bitch. It is.
Oh, yeah, got to. So while we're talking boxing, we're going to end it on this. We go from, art imitates life. We're going to talk about the trailer is out. The promos are out. Creed 3. I would say some things because it was filmed here in Atlanta. That's all I'm going to say. But good gosh almighty. Brother, yo, man.
Hey,
yeah.
Shout out to Joseph R. Wheeler III. SAG eligible. Okay. Real quick. Same vein as Marseille, okay? You got to give your props to Michael B. Jordan, man. You got to. Let's
Sorry?
let's think about it here. Let's think about it here, right? Starts out, first of all, he was recognized and identified with his mother as a child. I want to say in the doctor's office or the dentist's office, right? Somebody sees this handsome young brown boy and says, hey, you should model, you should act, whatever. So he goes from soap operas to The Wire. Everyone knows him as Wallace on The Wire, does Friday Night Lights. I'm saying he has taken his acting game into the stratosphere. Super sex symbol, right? Super sex symbol. The ladies love him, but I'm saying this is a different breed of young professional today. He wasn't satisfied to say, oh, I'm just gonna act, I'm gonna appear. No, I'm gonna be behind the thing. And then listen, it isn't all about the money. It's creative control as well. You know that yourself as an artist. For me to have integrity, I need to have control of my art and my product. So I'm saying when Tessa and B. Jordan were in the first Creed movie together, they did an interview. She was giving him all kind of props. She was calling him mogul and so on and so forth because he is. And I'm saying now he goes from actor to producer, now added director to the title because, Coogler.
Let's echo that part about producer, because I want to mention also that if it were not for this man taking just a sizzle reel, okay, and then the other one I'm gonna mention the same story, just a sizzle, just a small short for what became Raising.
Yes.
Okay, on Netflix. That was just a sizzle reel on YouTube that people went crazy about, just like how it happened with Bel Air, and how somebody sees that and then it became Will's thing to make it, let's get it made, Mm-hmm. Same thing happened with Michael B. Jordan on that. And also on the great film Ken, starring my main man, Miles Truitt. Shout out to
yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? I work with Miles, so I always shout him out. I'm looking forward to everything he's doing. He's on BMF right now. But that film, it's become a cult classic. But I always tell people, go look at Ken. You talk about a sci-fi classic that was when people slept on it. Michael B. Jordan's in it and he executive produced it.
Yes, sir.
And people don't know that. And people don't know that he backed up.
And I'm saying, as you know, Joe, just to appear in a film, let alone be, because think of everything you got to do as a producer, man. You got to help select the talent, both in front of and behind the camera. When you're talking about executive producer, you got to hand in the dollars and how they flow, right? The profitability of the project. So I'm saying for him to do all of that so seamlessly, for the product to be the one, because you ain't hardly ever seen B. Jordan in nothing whack, sort of like Denzel. You would have to really, really, really search hard to find, okay, this was a bad Denzel movie. It really doesn't exist. I'm saying B. Jordan is bringing that same level of quality and commitment to the craft. And I'm saying now he's the right. I can't see it. I can't wait to see it, because Jonathan Majors, he got next. That dude, oh man.
Yeah.
What?
He's a phenom. He really is. Yeah. All I'm gonna say, man, because NDAs is real. I'll just say I've been in presence and I know the weight of people. That's all I'm gonna say. Facts, bro. Facts.
And I'm saying my dude got chiseled for that joint. I can't wait to see how it comes off, man. I listen. I know Adonis is gonna win. I don't know how he's gonna win, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Right on, exactly. Like you say, those be the ones I need for motivation when I don't feel like going to the gym or getting down and doing some push-ups. Okay, I just saw the trailer for Creed. Let me get.
Hey, I was about to say, if you ever plan on taking your shirt off ever, in private or public, yeah, bro, yeah. Listen, get with it, get with it. I see you. Guns of the Navarone. I see you.
Yes, sir. This has been another one with my main man with my favorite one-liners. Mr. Rise Up. If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
Here's Panther, Joe.
Yes, sir.
And there's Beast.
All day, man. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us again, fam. We got a hit with you. You always hit hard. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Anytime, bro.
Yes, sir.